This is Mac here with another N5 grammar lesson from JLPTbootcamp.com. And today we're going to talk about asking how and asking why. And so for this particular situation, please imagine you're out with your girlfriend and you're looking for a nice restaurant to eat at. You point to the sign and you say, "Kono restaurant wa do?" And your girlfriend answers, "Ii ne, oishii." So first, your sentence, "Kono restaurant" means this restaurant. Wa is the topic marking particle, and then do is how about in this situation. Do basically means how, but in this situation, you're asking how about this restaurant. Your girlfriend answers "ii ne," like, "Oh, that sounds great," and "oishii so." This is oishii, and then we've cut off the e and added so, which kind of gives it the feeling of that looks delicious. It's a very common expression that you hear people use. It's a little bit more difficult than N5, but usually this is a common expression that you might hear on TV, or if you go to a restaurant or someone's house and they prepare some food for you, you might want to say "oishii so." Oh, that looks delicious. And so you were using do, which is how to ask how. And do is kind of the basic form of how. We'll go into kind of some different variations of how you can change this around with other things in a bit. But how you'll see it a lot at the N5 level is for offers in this particular structure right here. So some kind of noun that you're offering, wa is the topic marking particle, and then do desu ka, which is the polite form. In the previous conversation, using casual, which is what you would use with your friends, but on N5 you'll hear the polite form, and that's this structure here, do desu ka. And you can use this to offer anything. So do you want some beer, you want some wine, just nani nani wa do desu ka. And you can ask about how something was with just by changing it into past tense, like this example sentence below. Sono raibu wa dou deshita ka? So sono raibu is live, katakana live, which basically just means a concert, some kind of show. Sono is the in this situation. So the concert, how was it? Is how you would ask about a past event. How did they like it? Was it good? Was it entertaining? Would they go again, kind of thing. So you can use it in these two different forms, the base do form. But do can be combined with some other words to have a couple other different meanings. So for example, doyate is how or in what way. This is what you would use to ask about how you got to a certain place, or how you made a cake, or how you did some kind of action, is doyate. You wouldn't use do by itself. The second one is doshio. You'll hear this a lot because some people in Japan are a little bit indecisive. So usually when there's some kind of big decision that's come up, they will lay out all the options, and then someone might say, "Oh, doshio," or "doshio kana" is what can we do? What should we do here? I'm not sure. It kind of shio is the polite, casual form of suru. So it's kind of asking like how should we go about doing something, literally. The last one, do shimashita ka, is what happened. Shimashita is the past tense of suru in the polite form, and then of course ka is the question marker. So you would use this just as a set phrase. You hear a loud noise or something strange happened. You would ask this question: "Do shimashita ka?" What happened? What's going on here? Can you explain this situation? The event that just occurred is all the kind of literal translations of that. So you get into the restaurant, you sit down, and the waiter comes up to you and asks, "Ocha wa ikaga deshou ka?" And you reply, "Hai, onegaishimasu. And the waiter, he is he's a serving staff, so he's below you in the social structure, so to speak. And so he's using a very polite form, and basically the formal polite form of do, which is ikaga. And ocha is a tea, and again, wa is the topic marking particle. Ikaga is the more polite form of do, and desho is kind of the polite, it's an indirect way of asking what you would like. If you used, you could use des here. It's a little bit more direct. There really isn't that big of a difference, but desho is the most polite way to ask if you would like this tea. And then you reply, "Hai, yes, onegaishimasu, please." So basically, yes, please. And so ikaga is asking how politely or more formally. And it's a lot of times it'll follow that exact same structure. Noun plus the wa particle plus ikaga desu ka is how you would ask about, offer something up. And of course you can ask about something that you've experienced by just using the past tense. So for example, this sentence below, sono wine wa ikaga deshita ka? So how was the wine? Did it taste all right? Is maybe something a waiter might ask you to check how you're doing. Now, you don't, this doesn't pair up like do does with other structures. There, you don't really hear, ikaga yatte or ikaga shio. At least I've never heard. It's only used in this, it's used, I don't want to say only, but it's used a lot in this particular structure. And at the N5 level, you'll probably only hear it in this offering structure like this. When you go to a restaurant, you would hear it from some kind of staff, or if you went to some kind of bank or something for some service, they would use ikaga instead of do. So you have sat down at the restaurant, you're looking at the menu, it's an incredibly expensive place. And so your girlfriend, you ordered salad, and your girlfriend wants to know why. Why did you just order salad? So she asks you, "Doshite sarada dake ni shita no?" You reply, "Onaka ga suite inai." And she asks you a question, "Honto?" So the first one, doshite, is why, and sarada is the Japanese katakana for salad. Dake is only, and then this last part is ni shita, which is the past tense of ni suru, which is used to order something when you've chosen something. It kind of has a literal meaning of something like make it this, and so you would use it when you're ordering food. And so in this particular situation, she's asking, why did you order just the salad? And then you reply, onaka, which is stomach, and that's the subject. It's marked with the ga. And suite inai means that it's not empty. Suku is empty, and then the te form is suite, and then inai means the negative state. So suite inai means it's not empty. My stomach's not empty. I'm not hungry is basically how you would translate this. If you want to say you're full, of course you'd say onaka ga ippai. My stomach is full. But in just a normal situation, you haven't eaten recently or anything, and you're not hungry, you would use this structure. And finally, she asks you honto, which is like, really? Are you joking? You're just going to order the salad? So she was using doshite, which is how to ask about why. You can also use naze. They both mean why. And so the general structure that you are going to use or see on the test probably is naze or doshite plus some kind of statement that you're asking about why are you doing this thing. No desu ka? So no at the end here has a feeling of, I want to know the reason for you doing this thing. And des, of course, is the copula, making it a little bit more polite. Ka is the question marking particle. And in casual, you would just drop off desu ka and use the no in kind of a questioning intonation. But on the test, and if you want to speak politely, you would say no desu ka. And so, for example, to give you an example with naze, you have this sentence below, naze kono kuruma o kaitai no desu ka? So, why do you want to buy this car? And you might be wondering, what's the difference between naze and doushite? It's basically, they're pretty much, grammatically speaking and everything else, they pretty much have the same meaning. They can be they can kind of be used interchangeably. This is kind of one of those things that once you start learning the language, you'll kind of understand what's more natural to use in a particular structure. But at this level, N5 level, they're basically the same thing. Some people say naze is a little more formal. It can sometimes sound a little bit more demanding, whereas doushite is a little more casual and more commonly used. But in my personal experience, in just looking at examples in the corpus, I can't really see a clear difference between these two. So you're not really going to be tested on that. Just be aware that there's two words that basically mean the same thing. So let's have a quick pop quiz before we have to go. Real quick, can you translate this? What happened last night? And night is yoru in Japanese. What happened last night? In Japanese, that would be kino no yoru do shimashita ka? So kino is yesterday, actually, and then yoru is night. So this is literally yesterday's night, because there is a word for last night, but you would normally use this structure. This is a little bit more common. And doshimashita ka is what happened. Now, you might be thinking that there should be a ni particle here, yoru ni, but actually, and you can put it in there, but usually it's left out in this particular situation because it's pretty clear that you're talking about time and when something happens. So it's often dropped, even in written Japanese. Now for the second one, question, would you like a beer? This is making an offer, a very polite offer, maybe from a waiter or somebody like that. And that in Japanese would be biru wa ikaga desu ka? So, would you like a beer? Biru is, that's beer in Japanese. Wa is the topic marking particle. Ikaga is how about. And desu ka, des is the copula making it a little bit more polite. Ka is the question marking particle. And the last one here is, why are you sleeping in my bed? Why are you sleeping in my bed? In Japanese, that would be doushite watashi no beddo de netteru no desu ka? Netteru no desu ka? So doushite, of course, is why. Watashi is I. No marks possession. So beddo is I possess the bed. And then de marks where the action is taking place. Nette iru. Nette is the te form of neru, which is to lay down and sleep. Iru is the present progressive ing of the form of the verb. So basically, that's how you would say sleeping. And no marks the fact that you want to know the reason. Des is the polite copula, and ka is the question marking particle. So there you go. That is asking how and asking why in Japanese. So again, asking how, you can use do. This is kind of a medium level politeness. Do, what you would normally use to ask how. It's often used in this structure where you're offering something wa plus do desu ka. but it's also in some other structures. Doyate means how and what way. Doshio, what can we do? Doshimashita ka is what happened here. And then you can use ikaga to be a little bit more polite when you're offering something. And naze and doshite is how to ask why in Japanese. So that's it for this particular grammar lesson. If you know someone that is studying for the N5, I'm sure they would find this video helpful. So send them a link to this one and help them out for that N5 test. And until next time, everyone have a good time studying, and I'll talk to you later. This has been a grammar explanation video from the JLPT Bootcamp Premium site. Inside the site, you will find some extra goodies, for example, some cheat sheets for all of the videos. And those cheat sheets include a few things. For example, some common mistakes that people make, as well as some example test questions for the JLPT. If you're interested in taking the JLPT and you want that extra edge, something to kind of push you above and get the points that you need to pass, I encourage you to stop by the website at jlptbootcamp.com/premium. There you can find the cheat sheets as well as some extra practice with the grammar points that I've been talking about today. Hope to see you in the premium site very soon. This has been Mac from jlptbootcamp.com.